What's happening, friends? Welcome to Podcast Unlocked, episode 390 for April 23rd, 2019. Coming up on this week's show, we'll talk a little Mortal Kombat 11 now that the biggest game of the first half of the year is out. Plus, probably the biggest game of Q4 is going to be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That has been officially announced. We'll talk about that. Plus, a major prominent game developer is back after about 5 or 6 years of retirement. Not so much retirement anymore. Plus, a lot of E3 news to go over coming up here on Unlocked.
Podcast Unlocked.
Oh, there we go. Ryan McCaffrey back with you after a vacation. Happy to be back. It's episode 390 of Podcast Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox podcast. Brandon Tyrell.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, buddy. You're to my right today.
I am. Yeah.
Everybody's to my right because we're at a circular table. Mm-hmm. Everyone's also to my left.
I was just going to say, yeah, you get it best of both worlds.
However you want to go. Good to see you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Destin Legary.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
Well, your bam really stepped on my. I was trying to intro you, and you just bammed right over me.
I got to do the bam. Destin Legary, that's my go. It's my go time.
How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Excellent.
So, yeah, sorry for last week, folks. I accept no responsibility for there being no podcast last week because I wasn't here.
Yeah, that's why there was no podcast last week.
It happens, though.
It was probably the busiest news day in recent memory.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
Little thing called the PlayStation, not called the PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 got announced in the morning, or not announced, but you know that article in Wired came out. And
that was surprising to me.
What an interesting way to go about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. It was great to read, and a heck of a scoop by Wired.
Right.
You can just tip the cap on that one.
Yeah.
It was a familiar strategy.
How so?
Xbox did the same thing for the X. They released just the stats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sony did the same strat.
But I found it interesting in that, not to get too off topic right away, but that they did it in that way because Microsoft's been the one that they've been talking about next gen for almost a year already. Right. Even only a little tiny bit, but yeah, like for
just like off the cuff.
Right. For Wired to get a proper sit down. It's not like they cornered him drunk at a bar. Wired got
I can't even imagine Mark Cerny drunk at a bar. I'm sure it happens. I can't imagine it.
He seems like he'd be like me, where he'd be like a one drink and I'm flying kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got some interesting technical details.
Yeah.
On what will inevitably be called the PS5, an SSD hard drive. That's great to see. Hopefully the Scarlet will do the same. The Anaconda.
Right. Mm-hmm. I imagine they kind of have to, and not just an SSD. It's just I think Cerny had a quote in there talking about how not all SSDs are created equally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this will be a super high quality version of it, and I don't know what that means as a price point or anything, but it sounds like it's going to be
$2,000.
Oh my God!
Throw my guess in the hat.
I think both of them. I'm willing to make the usual in and out wager. I think they'll both cost the same.
Yeah.
Both high end ones. We know there's going to be a slightly quote unquote lower spec Scarlet as well. But I think both the PS5 and Anaconda I think they'll cost the same because, last time the Kinect just threw everything off.
My real. Do you want to know my real guess?
Yeah, do it.
In between $600 and $700. If you want me to go to a real price point, probably like $649.99.
Are you think so? See, I don't think. I think they'll both be $499.
That's too low.
Nope.
I mean, that's your guess.
I think by then the X and the Pro will be probably $350. Would be my
the Pro is still $400. They never had a price drop. They have trade-ins and such.
Just wait.
I really want a price drop on the Pro. I don't want to.
No, I think 500 is the magic number for next. There's just no way the PS5s. They're not going to repeat the PS3 mistake, no matter how powerful the box is.
Well, I mean, it also kind of depends on what. I mean, consoles get cheaper as technology gets smaller and more affordable, right? It just kind of depends on what they put in there, I think. And it's going to sound like I'm hedging my bets, but I was actually thinking $499 to $599. I think the next generation.
I could see $599.
I don't think it would be unreasonable for them to raise sort of that price floor.
Could happen
on a premium console.
Yeah, it could happen. But Sony's given no indication that they'll be anything else. Like that will be the console.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch over the next year. Starting with E3, we'll talk actually about Microsoft's E3 plans and what they're going to be showing. Phil Spencer talking a bit about that.
Sorry, I get obsessed with this stuff. SSDs alone are ridiculously expensive.
Not anymore.
Well,
not anymore.
Still comparatively. I'm just talking about the talks of the specs that were mentioned from PS5 or Ryzen and the SSD.
Not anymore. And remember that Sony can and Microsoft can order in
bulk,
major bulk, order in quantities of millions.
That's fair.
Which drives the cost way down. But
I think Brandon might be on the money.
Should be fun.
I'm on the money.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
How is it, Destin?
What's that?
Hey,
we gave it a great review. Mitchell Saltzman did a wonderful job. Give it a 9.0 out of 10 for IGN.
Mitchell coming in with the high scores lately.
He had a DMC5.
He had a low score in there, too.
That's right. What did he do?
Jump Force?
I don't remember. It was Jump Force got a low score and something else got a pretty low score. Yeah.
Mitchell Saltzman. He's good at what he does.
But what are you thinking of it, Destin? I mean, this is a game. It's just done more. This game's done more traffic. There's more audience interest on IGN for Mortal Kombat 11 since its announcement at the Game Awards than anything else.
Isn't it crazy? Like that is
wild.
one of the best trafficking properties for IGN.
Yeah.
And it's a game series that has been out for
20-something years.
20-something years.
Almost 30 years.
With almost annual iterations, not like lately annual iterations.
Well, biannual.
Yeah.
That's right, because they do Injustice in between. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I'm really, really liking my time with the game. Pre-release, we have to do a lot of footage capture, which means, unfortunately, in this case, grinding through the crypt. I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
First, I want to be positive, and that's the gameplay is really, really solid. They have a nice roster, 25 characters.
And how is it on Xbox One X? Have you been spending a lot of time?
I've been playing mostly on the X, my platform of choice, and it is really, really smooth. I actually had some issues when I had it installed on my external hard drive, but I moved it onto the internal, and then those issues sort of went away. I was getting like audio cutouts and stuff like that. It was really odd. So if you're a fighting game person and you don't want to deal with any of those odd issues, then potentially install it on the internal drive.
I wonder if that's just your whatever external drive
my drive
using,
could be dying. It could be a lot of things, but if you want to be safe, just throw it on the internal.
Did you buy like a Seagate or
It's the one Ryan recommended.
Which one?
That was a while ago. I mean, that's a good 3 or 4 years ago. It was and I bought the one that Eric Neustetter, formerly of Xbox, had recommended. It was a little slim 2 terabyte Seagate.
Oh no,
which was like 80 at the time.
Mine's huge. It's like
you have like a tower.
It has an AC adapter.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I specifically had wanted the one that didn't require a power source, so it's just USB powered.
I was the same way, and I'm not a super technical guy. Like it's I don't have the knowledge base to know really the difference between, the minor differences between those kind of drives. So I just bought the proprietary Microsoft 2 terabyte one as well.
Oh yeah, you paid.
Oh, I absolutely. And I knew going in, I was like, yeah, I can get this on Amazon.
It's literally
cheaper,
like a Seagate with the Xbox brand
with a lime green sticker over top of it. Yeah.
So
anyway,
the gameplay is great. The fatalities are disgusting and sometimes comical.
What's your favorite one? Give me a quick description.
It's got to be Johnny Cage. Right?
Well, I think the most memorable one for me is Kotal Khan's, where he brings out the statue. He like kicks your head off.
Oh.
He like basically backwards curb stomps your head so that your whole spine comes out. And then he gets this goofy totem and he smashes your head. And I just can't get it out of my mind because it's so disgusting.
It's very Lord of the Flies kind of.
Yeah. My favorite one's probably Frost. I saw recently. Frost will she kills you. I don't remember what she does, but she freezes you, but then she pulls out your brain and your brain gets helicoptered away, and then they put it in a robot.
Wait.
So she like creates you into a robot, and I'm like, wow, that's like an elaborate little story about what Frost did with your body part.
That's so great.
I don't. You remember back in the day when you used to just uppercut somebody into spikes?
Yeah.
Like fatality. You're like, oh, that's great.
That's tame now.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
I haven't seen any pit fatalities yet. I don't think there are, but they brought back mercies, so you can give an opponent like a little bit extra life, and like, all right, you were pretty good. Let's see if I can beat you again. Like give him a second chance.
Huh.
Damn.
Interesting.
That's just the ultimate shade right there.
Unfortunately, there are a few negative things. It's launch day. PC launched super late. This morning, I'm sitting there at my desk just like, why hasn't it launched it? It's 10 a.m. Pacific. A lot of people were upset about that. But gameplay-wise, the towers are really cheap sometimes. And they're also on a timer, so if you're stuck on a particularly difficult / cheap tower, like the one I was on last night, where Liu Kang had 400% health and he could call Scorpion infinitely.
Yeah.
Ryan's very excited by Mortal Kombat, I can tell.
It's fine.
This is a game that you play when the daughter goes to bed.
Yeah.
It would be. Again, I've said I just want to watch. I love watching this game. I don't even really want to play it because I'm just no good at fighting games anymore. But I want to watch it.
It is one of those games. It's like the spectacle is half the enjoyment of it, right?
It's just awesome.
So towers are cheap. They already said they're addressing that online. But the egregious part is the crypt. All the second fatalities for every character are locked. All their brutalities are locked, and they're locked in this crypt. I haven't had a chance to go to the store yet, but I'm worried that they're going to just make you pay for everything. And the way that you earn it in game, it's just totally random. So you just go open all these chests, and maybe you get a fatality, maybe you get a piece of clip art or a background for your icon. And it's just really annoying that there's no reliable way to unlock them all. Again, I'm prefacing this by saying, now that the store's been live, by the way, they kept that from us pre-release. So up until now,
there is a real money way to get all that stuff?
I don't know. There was a real money store that should be live this morning, but it wasn't live until this morning. So pre-launch, I think that was purposeful, so nobody would have any idea of this sort of transaction and how it's going to work. So probably on the next unlock, I might be super salty, or I might be like, oh, okay, it's $20 for all the fatalities, like it was in Mortal Kombat 10. You can just be like, unlock all the fatalities for a price.
Welcome to the crypt.
Yeah. I don't like any game that leans so hard on this sort of loot boxy thing, especially when it's something like fatalities, like a core piece of the game.
So does everybody have 2 fatalities, but one's locked? Or does everybody have more than 2?
That's correct. Everybody has 2, but brutality is, I've seen 5.
Wow.
I've seen more, and everybody just starts with 1.
Wow.
Cool. Well, there's a lot in there.
Like
so 25 times 5 is... Destin's not.
And what was going on? Was there any validity to the alleged leak of DLC characters?
Oh, I mean, I have no idea. That was data mined out of the game, but the roster, mute your mic for like 10 seconds. It includes Joker, Spawn, and a bunch of other like fan favorites. That would be really surprising.
Because somebody tweeted me, like right after I got back from vacation, and said I would be very happy. And I was like, what? About the if the leak is true. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, because it's Master Chief and the Joker from Dark Knight and and Doom Guy and and a DeLorean for some reason. You just get to fight a car.
Fight a car.
Shao Kahn's confirmed already, but Joker would be really surprising. I think having Joker be murdered or murdering the Joker with what DC's been doing with that character lately, I think they're like, yeah, it's probably fine to have him murdered. Because like they're kind of doing this multiple timeline Joker thing.
Yeah.
And he's already pretty gruesome in the comics.
He's in Injustice too, so.
Yeah, but you don't murder in Injustice. You just kind of punch people a whole bunch, and everybody's a superhero. You take a thing, and everybody has superpowers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we move on, I wanted to say congratulations to Destin.
I know.
Got engaged, buddy, since the last show.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great, man. Congrats.
Nice job.
Very excited to be married to that woman.
Yeah.
You already did it? You already got married?
Congratulations again.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing
but
wrong.
I love her very much, and she's great.
That's awesome.
I normally don't bring my personal life stuff into work, but I'm very happy with it.
Well, you put it on social media. So
that's okay.
Not giving any names or anything.
No. I'm very blessed to have a wonderful woman in my life, and I'm very excited that you said yes.
Yeah, I was just super happy for you. Because I was on vacation. Like, I realized I texted you like a day later, and you probably thought like, wow, Ryan sucks. He's
not
like
at all.
A day late. But I was on vacation. I wasn't checking email or social media, but then I checked my personal email. Didn't touch the IGN email because just leave me alone.
Yeah.
But I saw I got the Facebook notification email. It's like Destin's posted a status update, and then it gives the first few words where they're like, she said yes, ... I was like, oh, I better click on this one. Sure enough. It was great. Very happy for you.
She said yes, you can finish my sandwich.
Yeah, it was actually just like, she said yes, I can supersize it.
Yeah, great lunch at, whatever. That still would have been good.
In my improv class, just say yes.
Yeah. Say yes to everything.
Yes, and.
All right.
Yeah, that's really great news. I remember we went on a trip in Edmonton when you guys first started dating, and you were just glowing about her. So yeah, that's really nice to see.
Thanks.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
she's fantastic.
Awesome. And her, you're a good dude.
Yeah, you deserve it, my friend. You're You
Thanks,
are just a
guys.
great person.
Oh, thank you.
Now we're just going to cry, hug, and kiss.
Yeah,
so,
hey, there's nothing wrong with
mute
that.
your mic.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just great. It's great to see another happy married person.
Yes, it is.
All righty. I want to plug Unfiltered again real quick. Yves Guillemot. I got a lot of great feedback. Thank you to everybody who's tweeted me or written me about that.
The show you forced everybody to watch
Yeah.
or listen to.
Nobody's complained, at least not vocally.
Did you put it on the back end?
Yeah, I did.
That's really smart, Ryan. Honestly, like as a podcast listener, I would totally listen to whatever came after.
Actually, one guy complained because
Well.
of the file size.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, it's like 100-something megs. We live in, like, it takes 3 seconds to download.
I had to delete a photo to listen.
Yeah, like what? I mean, okay, like I'll respect your bandwidth sensitivity, I guess, but
What was the total runtime on it? Like over 3 hours?
well, it would have been because I only had Eve here. Like it was
Yeah.
like he had a hard out and it was it. So I think the interview is like 50 or 52 minutes. So I think we did roughly an hour unlocked.
Yeah.
Last time.
That's not too bad.
So it was it's a little under 2 hours or about 2 hours of total show last week.
Out of curiosity, when I listen to podcasts, I just autoplay it. I don't really stop and look at the file size or the amount of time each episode is. Do you guys do that?
No.
I wonder.
Just play it. I don't look at file size ever.
Yeah, I wonder if someone like looks at an episode and is like, "Oh, a 2 hour unlocked, all right." But I don't think I've ever looked at the length of a specific podcast episode.
It must mean they're all good, the ones you listen to, because if they were bad, you'd be like, when is this over?
Yeah, I guess so.
Which is probably what people are doing right now.
People
When are they going to
stop
move on?
listening.
yeah.
Like
Speaking of,
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, if you hopefully you were forced to listen to it at the end of last week's show and hopefully enjoyed it. It's got its own podcast feed. If you do like it, go subscribe, check it out. It's also on YouTube or IGN. All right, let's come right back in a second with tons of news. You're going to make it's like the worst GIF ever that was made. All right, let's get to the news. Apologies that some of this is a little stale, but there's been a lot of big stuff that's happened since we last podcasted 2 weeks ago. And I want to start with the game that, as of now, probably stands as the
one to beat.
biggest name of the fall of this year. And that is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And it is out November 15th. Of course, it's Respawn, published by EA because EA owns Respawn. I see a lot of people with the knee-jerk hate for that, and they're like, nope, whatever, it's EA, I don't care. I can respect that you may have felt burned by EA policies over the years, but Respawn has done nothing but deliver brilliance so far.
Yeah, I mean, Jedi will be game 4, and every single game they've released has been really good, if not amazing. Titanfall 2,
and
Apex.
And then before that, again, the bulk core of that team was Infinity Ward from Modern Warfare 2 back.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare 2. Plus Titanfall, Titanfall 2, and Apex Legends. That's a real nice resume. That's quite an IMDb page.
Strong. That's strong. Also, just think of how amazing it is that Apex is essentially going to bookend this year with maybe the 2 most popular games of the year. We'll see how Jedi does.
You mean Respawn?
I'm sorry, what did I say?
Yeah, you said Apex.
Oh, yeah, Respawn.
Apex is the front bookend with
Correct.
with
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen
That's
Order.
what I was going for.
Yeah. No, you're right. Actually, I hadn't really thought about it like
that's
that
amazing.
before. Yeah, like it's February and November. And if Jedi is anywhere as successful as Apex has been, it's going to be one heck of a year for
And I mean,
Respawn.
it's Star Wars. It's got a pretty good shot, I think.
Yeah, it would probably be in good shape all on its own, but it happens to have the single biggest Star Wars film release, certainly since Episode 7.
Oh yeah.
In the form of the end of the saga, Episode 9.
Yeah.
They're taking a
coming
break
out.
after that too.
Yeah.
I'm glad they.
Me too.
Had
I
too
mean,
much Star Wars stuff.
Well, it's the I didn't like Solo. I didn't hate it, but I didn't at all love it. And then I'm glad they kind of tabled the Boba Fett standalone that they were talking about. And then I guess there's the Rian Johnson Unknown trilogy for some time in the future. And then, we'll see where
I
they
like
go.
Rogue One, but narratively it drove me nuts. There were so many.
I liked Rogue One. I didn't.
It was a nice spectacle, but the characters just being wasted like that really, really made me frustrated as a viewer. I wanted to see them explored more.
Well, speaking of characters, so in Jedi Fallen Order, you are a real generic-looking dude. I have to say that. That's my only complaint about what was a great CG reveal trailer. It's you're a
Person.
basically a Jedi in hiding in exile.
Force user,
and you will get found out obviously over the course of the game, and your powers will grow, and you will kick a lot of butt.
I think he saves somebody with the Force, and it's after Order 66 had been executed. That time period is really, really exciting to me because I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, what happened when you were a Jedi and like all your brethren were killed?
You essentially have to go into hiding.
Yeah, you go into hiding.
Because there are standing kill on sight orders for any Force sensitive people.
Yeah, exactly. And if you develop that after that order had been executed, like it seems like this character did, it's just such a compelling story to explore, and I'm sure they had a lot of fun with it. I can't wait to see where they went with it.
I haven't thought about that. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because not only...
Imagine you, Brandon. You start being able to pull stuff, and
you wake up
you're realizing you have the Force.
You wake up one morning and you're a wizard, essentially.
Yeah.
Except there is a standing order to kill all wizards, and you're like, on one hand, I'm super cool. On the other hand, crap.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's like your life now changes for better and worse, I guess, depending on your view.
And it seems like he's just a normal worker, like he's loading trucks or whatever.
Just a blue-collar hombre.
Just a blue-collar hombre.
His
doing
name
his
is even, like, his face is super generic. His name's Cal. Like, even
Cal
his name is generic.
Cal McCormick.
Is that right? Is
Jedi
it
wizard. Yeah, I made that.
My name is Kevin Smith, and I am... Oh, actually, that's an actual person. I was just pulling
that's a real guy.
Two standard.
Very prolific.
He loves Star Wars, by the way.
Oh,
if you didn't know that.
All right, so Silent Bob as a Jedi. All right, I want the pitches on my desk in an hour.
But
I think he's probably worn the cloak.
Probably. I'm sure there are pictures at Comic-Con.
He put Mark Hamill in a movie
Jane Silent Bob
as
Hawk
Knocker. Yeah, like
oh my God, I forgot about that. That's true.
And Mark Hamill just totally went for it in that role, which was great. I love that movie. Anyway, no multiplayer in this game.
What? I'm cool.
Multiplayer at all.
Good. I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm kidding.
Unreal Engine 4, no Frostbite either.
Suck it,
If
EA.
you're still reeling from Jason Schreier's report on Anthem and all the myriad,
Or just any of the Frostbite games that exist.
well, but specifically
bad.
the complaints raised in that article by the dozens of developers he spoke to about their difficulties with Frostbite. Yeah, this is Unreal Engine 4. It is Respawn. It is no multiplayer, and it's their track record. So, I mean, yeah, this has all the ingredients. Also, there's a droid dog that follows you around.
Oh, really?
It's your buddy. His name is BD1.
Oh, this just sounds like fan service now. Can you pet it?
Cal McCormick and his buddy BD1.
Can you pet
Wait,
the droid dog?
that's basically Titanfall 2.
What's BD1 translate to be? Rex.
Yeah, probably.
Brandon Dyrell.
No. Are you calling me a dog?
No, well, BT was. In,
BT was
in Titanfall 2.
Yeah, it really is a. Are they just making another buddy adventure?
I am fully okay with that.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah.
I wonder what that meeting went like. So here at EA, we're all expected to use the Frostbite engine. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Well, we'd really no.
Yeah, I don't.
All right, I guess we'll go have a meeting. Like you do
Well,
that. We're making the game in
don't-
Unreal.
Do you think they were using Unreal before this whole thing?
They
happened?
were. They absolutely were. Yeah, there were job listings before the studio acquisition by EA. When so to your point though, Respawn was making the game for EA.
Yeah,
they just weren't owned by EA. But
so that was my question too,
yeah.
because did they have the Star Wars license before they got acquired, or were they making a different game and then they're like, hey, we can make this Star Wars now?
Well, I don't know. It was only ever announced as a Star Wars game.
That happened at Raven back in the day. They were making like a Wolverine tech demo with the body deformation and everything. They're like, make the whole game. Do it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like one piece of tech impressed people enough to allow them to take the Wolverine license and basically run for it.
That game turned out pretty well.
That game was excellent. It's one of my favorite Wolverine games.
And
I'm a big comic book guy. So
one of the last original games
from
Raven was allowed to make before they got
Call of Duty.
There were moments there, like the blob fight and stuff in that game were cool, but like the tech behind it was really it pushed me through the whole game, and like the costumes you could unlock just by playing the game and discovering collectibles and stuff like that.
Well, they had the cool deformation, like body destruction tech in Soldier of Fortune.
Did they?
And Soldier of Fortune 2, yeah.
Yeah, so this one, like, pieces of your body are, like, falling apart. Then it would, like, heal back. And it was just so cool to see, like, a realized Wolverine.
I remember footage of it. I never played it myself, but I remember seeing, like, through a series of, like, this grandiose fight. Yeah. You're going through cutscenes or, like, interactive moments, and, like, large chunks of you are coming off to the point where it's legs and a torso and just, like, the spinal cord connecting it. I also love the idea that costumes are available in a game where your body literally falls apart.
Yeah.
Seems a little...
Well, they had, like, the old school Wolverine, the brown and yellow. They had the traditional yellow costume. They had the X Factor Wolverine, which is, like, all gray.
The skin-tight leather suit from X-Men, the movie.
I think they might have... I don't know if they had that one, but I know they had like Weapon X. There were some really cool like fan service skins in that game. Sorry, I just,
anyway,
it's one of my favorite games.
Order,
Jedi, can't wait.
No, it's I mean, all the pieces are there for this. Like there is, in my opinion, and I know people would disagree because they'll just go, well, EA, but I don't think there's any reason to be anything but optimistic about Jedi Fallen Order, given the everything we've heard. You know, the no multiplayer, Unreal Engine 4. Respawn.
They're taking a crack at narrative, like storytelling, and I'm really, really excited to see what they can do.
Which we know they're capable of. Right?
Titanfall 2, one of the best narrative campaigns in an action game in a long time.
I know it gets a lot of flack, but look back at Modern Warfare 2, or even
Modern Warfare,
Modern Warfare 4,
yeah,
COD 4, Modern Warfare.
Yes.
There were moments in both of those games where you're just like, wow.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
The end. I mean, there momultiple moments, but.
Spoilers for a 10-year-old game.
The end of Modern Warfare 1 I thought was awesome. The way that was one of the cooler, like that's how you can end a game in a cool way without it being just a boss fight where they have to throw more stuff at you to make it harder. Like, no, you can have a cool moment. Of,
it was an interactive moment that like you
pick
felt
up the gun and
you felt agency in the moment, but it's also a storyline, and that's really hard to get right.
Yes.
You know? But even like when the chopper goes down, right? Or in Modern Warfare 2, obviously the no Russian mission was widely talked about.
Traumatic.
But yeah, there were a lot of really cool moments. So as long as you can, string enough of those together, you can do something really interesting. And I think this team has proven they can.
Yeah, it'll be. I can't wait to see what's going on with this game. Hopefully, we'll get to play it at E3.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah. E3's like
good.
Right around the corner.
It's coming up. We're less than 2 months out, which is kind of terrifying, but also exciting.
Yeah, I imagine it would have to be an EA play at that point.
Yeah, so we'll see. Now, speaking of Respawn, the co-founder of that studio and longtime partner of Vince Zampella, Jason West, that's a name you may not have heard in a long time, but he evidently has returned. A scoop from Mr. Jeff Keighley himself, he of the Game Awards as well as the E3 Coliseum. He posted on Twitter, some game industry scoop. Epic Games has quietly hired Jason West, Infinity Ward and Respawn co-founder, to work on its game development efforts. From what I hear, West, who lives in North Carolina, has been in the office for about a month. So that's really interesting to me. Number one, because, I mean, Epic, we haven't seen any indication that they're in any hurry to do any other projects. Like their resources all seem devoted to Fortnite, which you can't blame them for. It's the biggest thing on the planet. It's making them tens of millions of dollars a month,
seemingly.
If not
I was going to say a day, seemingly.
Well, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. Just I am completely talking out of my rear here, but my gut tells me that Jason West would not come out of a 6-year retirement to just go work on Fortnite. Like, I feel like a thing that already exists and has a structure and a thesis and a whole an identity. Like I got to figure he would be, whether he's maybe going to kind of help incubate other ideas.
Is he going to be the consultant that helps flesh out some new ideas that they have?
Yeah, so I kind of wonder.
What if he really likes Fortnite, Ryan? What's wrong?
And maybe he does.
What's wrong with Fortnite?
Nothing at all.
I like Fortnite. We like Fortnite.
Yeah, you may very well be right. Yeah, maybe he is a super fan and he wanted to be a part of it and has some ideas about the future of it and how to keep it going for, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years.
I'll never be able to unsee any of this, Destin.
I'm just doing Fortnite emotes.
Yeah, by the way, the video episode is back.
It's back. It's what everyone wanted. Now you get to see.
And
we have to
Destin
dance. We don't have any
floss.
transitions set up.
It's Destin's fault, if you want to place the wording that way, that the video version is back. But now it's also Destin's fault that you just had to watch him do a Fortnite emote.
What if he engineered this whole thing? Just like, I'm gonna create a way to publish just me dancing.
Right. Destin really wants to be Gift on Twitter.
It's fine. I don't care anymore.
You already are.
Yeah.
Remember that? Hey, ladies.
No.
You don't remember that? The
No.
GIF? Oh man, I have it saved somewhere. It's just like you
Hey,
doing a quick like smash to camera, going, "Hey, ladies."
Why did I say that?
I don't think you did. I think that was just the text they put in there.
He's engaged now. It's time to retire that one.
I guess so. Oh, I have to delete it.
You made it.
Do you have any idea how late I was up?
But yeah, Jason West had. I mean, it sure seemed like he was going to take his Call of Duty lawsuit money.
What was the settlement?
And ride off into the sunset. The word was that it was
many millions.
I don't know if it was $35 million each for Jason and Vince, and then obviously the rest of the team got, by all accounts, pretty large paydays as well.
So
but they were the studio heads and the co-founders, so but it was either 35 each, or even if it was 35 between them, it's $17 million apiece.
That's not bad.
Even when the government takes half of it for taxes, you've got a pretty nice nest egg where he could have just stayed on a beach forever.
So let's break this down. 17 million. Let's say it's 17 million.
Okay.
Dollar amount. 5 million goes to your lawyers or whoever you had to hire to make sure you won.
I don't know if it's that much.
Isn't it like 10%? I think it's.
That's about 5 million. Sure. So let's say he has like 12 million.
That's not how
is that how it works? It's really only 10%?
It's 1.7. It depends on the fee, right? Each lawyer has a different, like if there's some lawyers will go in and be like, hey, and I am not a lawyer, so feel free to correct me.
Well, you know who I actually we could find this out if we had the time, because Seamus Blackley represented them, not as legal counsel, but
he's not going to call you up and be like, yeah, let me tell you all the legal details.
Probably text him right now.
It's generally a flat fee or like a percentage, from what I understand.
Flat fee is half.
like a sports agent, I think gets 5% of like the contract that they negotiate for their player.
Let's say the lawyer
negotiation, yeah.
Let's say the lawyer got $1 million.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Brings us down to 16.
Yeah.
Let's cut it in half for taxes.
Anything about this conversation.
So he has $8 million.
I want to watch Destin do math.
He has $8 million. Let's say he buys a really nice house, $7 million.
Okay.
Well,
then
where?
If it's
in North Carolina.
If it's North Carolina, it's cheaper than he was in Southern California. So
I'm saying like California is $1 million. He buys a house. Let's just say he spends $1 million buying a house, like looking for it
outright.
Really nice.
Now he
house.
has no mortgage because he's bought it with cash.
Yeah, no mortgage. He's got to pay those homeowners association fees every year. Maybe his daughter's got to go to a really prestigious college, or his son, and that's like $3 million.
There's an excellent rowing joke in there, but I don't think we should do it.
Just keep going.
And he's got to do his taxes every year. He's probably making good gains on capital gains tax.
If he's invested wisely.
If he's invested wisely, and the money's gone.
It's not gone. You're using money to make
growing.
money.
Yeah, those are called investments.
You invest.
Yeah. So he only has like a couple $1 million, and he's probably a little bored.
Sure. Whatever.
I am never hiring you as my financial planner. Let me.
I'm just messing around.
I don't know what to tell you. I went to Atlantic City for 2 weeks and got to go back to work now.
Let's hope your fiance is better at financial planning than you are.
Let's say he has a couple $1 million left, like $4 million left after it's all said and done.
Yeah.
You can. It's the old.
He's probably invested it all. He probably doesn't have
live
a lot
off
to
the
do.
interest.
Living off the interest, then he's probably like, I'm bored.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the fact that it's been this long. It's not like, I mean, remember Cliff Bleszinski
Hell, he
when
could have went.
when he went away, like when he kind of retired the first time after leaving Epic, coincidentally, this is Jason going to Epic, but Cliff didn't stay gone long because he said he wanted to make something.
He made Blue-Key.
Now I think Cliff's gone forever.
Boss Key. Right?
Yes,
Boss
correct.
Key,
Boss
right.
Key.
Yeah.
Lawbreakers was the game.
Which was better than...
But yeah.
How old is Cliff now? He's like our age, right? 35?
No, he's young. He's mid 40s, I think.
Yeah, he's done.
Well, he's got but if you listen to the Unfiltered that I did with him a while back, which was while he was, but that was during Lawbreakers.
I'm just saying he has enough going on.
Well, he had investments in Oculus, so he has FU money just from
Oculus,
the Facebook acquisition of Oculus. Like, forget about anything he made in games. And by the way, I'm saying this like listen to the interview. Like he's not hiding any of it. That's why.
I was just like, yeah, I did all right.
Yeah,
I did well.
just talking about live stuff, like after you go see every place you could possibly want to see in the world and you stay there for a week and, life starts calming down again, eventually you have to find something that you're passionate about.
I mean,
sure.
Take it down on a super small scale. Like anytime we have a 4 or 5 day weekend straight, right?
Yeah.
It's like we get X amount of days off around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Like by the end of that, I'm like, okay, I need to do something now. I'm
Yeah.
going crazy. Yeah. There's only so much you can
we'll see. I mean,
do around the house.
I would figure that Jason West is not. I don't think he would come back to do like Crunch. I don't think he's going to be like down there, working 80-hour weeks.
All right, it's crunch week. We got to put in. It's like, no, that's not happening.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious to learn what he's up to because it's great to have him back in the industry. He's the one of the chief minds behind so much, not just Call of Duty itself, but the gameplay behind that made Call of Duty. So he's a super smart, accomplished guy, and it's cool to have him back working on games again.
I hope he's fairly compensated for his role at the company.
I think he'll be okay. I think to get him to answer the phone to come out of retirement, you probably have to write down a pretty healthy number on a napkin.
Oh my God, what is that like that Janet? What was her name? Janice Dickinson. She bills herself as the first supermodel, and she's famous for being quoted as, "I don't get out of bed for less than $10,000."
Yeah,
that's not a great outlook to have.
Well, hey, if you can get away with it. If they'll pay,
then
why not? So yeah, we'll see. You have to see what Jason's up to. All right, let's talk some E3. Microsoft has confirmed the time and date of their conference, and it should sound pretty familiar. Sunday, so they're going on Sunday.
Whoa, big change.
June 9th. Well, they did Sunday last year. Thank you. 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, which is I think right exactly where they were last year. Bethesda will be Sunday evening, and then we'll talk more about Monday in a minute.
It's going to be a good show.
But yeah, I mean, next gen ahoy, they've already been talking it up and saying that they're going to go big on this.
Last year, their show was the best show they've ever done, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think they had a phenomenal show. Their pacing was great.
Yep.
It's like a good mixtape, right? When you do a big conference like that. You got to hit the beats just right, and they rocked it. It was an excellent show. Can't wait to see what they do.
I think every year I've thought, wow, that's the best one in a long time, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And they always deliver really well. But I think what they really struggle with is that a lot of what they're doing right now is building ecosystem and infrastructure and cool tech and new studios, and that's all really great, but like they don't have that moment that Sony's so famous for of like Kratos walking out of the shadows, right? I was about to say shower, and that's not right. Kratos walking out of the shadows to orchestral swelling music, and they really need just those wow punctuation marks. Other than that, they have.
I see what you're saying. Like the Xbox conferences tend to be like an 8 out of 10 the whole time, but they never spike up to 10.
Yeah.
But they never also sink down at all. Whereas
I thought
Sony tends to kind of ebb and flow a little more, but they'll have
that crescendo
that big
that they
spike.
hit. Yeah.
I think they had 2 moments last year for the Xbox conference. They had the Forza presentation, which actually incorporated confetti falling from the sky, and they changed the temperature in the room when winter came
right.
around, and I thought that was really, really a cool set piece for a stage presentation. Doesn't convey on video, obviously.
Yeah, that's the problem. Same with like Sony's idea of like walking you guys through.
It was terrible.
All these different rooms.
I
Like,
want to talk about
on video, that was great, but for you guys,
No, watching it was weird too because there were just these
was very
bizarre.
disjointed.
well,
it
at
was
least we got
very
to see
weird.
everything, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
Destin only caught what, like a 20-minute total show because you
Yeah.
were walking from tent to tent. Anyway,
that is one of Sony's least successful conferences, in my opinion, across the board, from broadcast standards to the press that were there. It was the poncho version of what Sony could have done, I think. Yeah.
Space poncho.
Yeah. But Microsoft had an excellent showing last year, and the second punctuation point was their Cyberpunk presentation, how it like hacked in, and it was
That's
like,
true.
Really
That's
cool
how they
visual
ended the show.
representation. Yeah.
Yeah, you're very right about that. But yeah, Phil Spencer says we will hear from some of the new studio acquisitions. He says,
I think the quote was, "Our new studios will have things to show." Oh, you have it written down, don't you?
yes, I came prepared.
Nice.
Go ahead.
No, I commissioned the story, so I was just going in off memory.
Well, you've got it there. Read the rest of it.
All right. Phil says we're here from Xbox New Studios acquisitions too. Our new studios are going to have things to show, he said, which is going to be awesome. Some new things that nobody has seen before, which sounds specifically like, maybe whatever Ninja Theory is working on.
Video games?
Video games, I imagine. Or it's just
Good idea.
Spencer specifically mentioned that Obsidian's The Outer Worlds, which is a multi-platform release, could be at the show.
Looking forward to seeing that.
Could be. Yes, it's going to be at the show. Come on. Yeah.
He continued saying it will take the team some time to completely mesh in with Microsoft. It'll take years to really have them fully integrated in and delivering the same way all of the teams do, because different teams are at different parts of their development cycle. But I think it's going to be really interesting to have those teams showing up this year and starting to show what they're building for us. So to me, that doesn't sound like we're going to get confirmation on release dates or anything yet.
But gameplay.
Yeah, but we might get some cool trailers or teasers or maybe even a gameplay clip.
Yeah, I mean, talking about those crescendo moments, I think especially, I think Microsoft's plan is probably not affected by what Sony's doing all that much.
I agree.
Speaking specifically about the Wired interview with Mark Cerny, but
I agree.
I think there was already a good chance, and certainly there still is after the Cerny thing. They might not announce, or they might not show the box, even though I think the look of the box is. I don't think people care as much about that as much as they used to. It'd be like, remember, it used to be like, what? I remember when the 360 was coming around, and it was, what's it going to look like?
Yeah.
Whoa! And they made a big deal. They did that whole MTV special
with,
hosted by Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
About what, and the whole thing. It had the design language of having a shape like it was inhaling. Remember the sort of inward curving.
I don't think I've ever heard it described like that before.
I swear to God, I worked at OXM for 10 years, so it's this is all knowledge that's in there,
Burned
whether
in.
you want it or not. But I kind of feel like
I actually dig that stuff. I was
I do
really
too.
into art
The
growing
form
up.
factor?
So hearing about the ideas behind why things are designed a certain way, like I like the PS4 Cerny interview where he actually talked about why the PS4 was designed that way.
Yeah.
It's just it's popcorn. I like watching it and hearing about artists' vision for a product, but I understand why you might think it's a little hoity.
yeah. But anyway, so my point is, I think they might not necessarily show the box, but I do think there's a good chance Microsoft will talk significantly about the capabilities of the Anaconda box, and possibly even say fall 2020. They might, they won't give a date, but I think they might even
Like a window?
They might just plant their flag in the ground.
So you and I are mostly in alignment on this, but I don't think they're going to go too heavy into specifics. I think they actually might, based on Cerny's, Sony announcing stat details on the PS5 or, again, whatever it's going to be called.
I think that'll happen
PS5.
ahead of E3.
I don't think it will.
Yeah?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I believe at E3 they're going to talk about it, and they might give you hints about, it'll be the most powerful console ever made again, or something like that. But I think we get just little teases. I think they confirm that it's definitely well on its way. It's in developers' hands already.
It's definitely probably well on its way.
Definitely, probably, most likely going to come out. I don't think we get any hardcore concrete details. I think they do the same thing they did with the Xbox One, which is, they tease it and they talk a little bit about it and sort of their mindset going in. to making a new console, and then we finish out the year, and then next year they do a big hands-on event in a tent on the Redmond campus.
See, I think number one, they will
do it here.
I think they want to set fire to everything they did with the Xbox One and the unveiling of that. But
I don't think the unveiling was. I mean, yes, the messaging was totally bad, but like the event itself, you went to, right?
No, I wasn't there. Mitch went.
Okay.
But anyway,
to the one.
I still think they can do both. I think this E3 in less than 2 months from now, they can talk specs. They can talk. Again, we talked on previous episodes of the show that maybe they show a sort of tech demo of Halo Infinite running on the hardware of some
that.
of some sort. Even it's not gameplay necessarily, but again, a tech demo, and then so they can talk. Maybe not show the box, but maybe not even say the name, but just talk about what it's going to be capable of. And then come February, March 2020, they could still have the event where it's like, here's the box, and let's play some games or show some stuff, and then at E3 2020, then they can give the exact date and the price and the whole thing.
I think we're closer in alignment than I thought we were.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, right? Because you're at this point now where Sony has already talked about the PS5. So if you're Microsoft, do you try to counter program against that by going more in depth than you had planned to originally, or maybe they totally planned to all along, or do you let that news sort of grow stale the way news does? And then, the next time there's a marketing beat about the PS5, the next time news comes out about it, it would be a more known quantity than whatever it is Microsoft's working on.
Yeah. Well, but E3 is their chance. They know they have the stage to themselves.
It's their table. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their chance to either bring it or don't. And I think. Go ahead.
I think absolutely they're going to talk about stats, but it may be brief.
Yeah.
It may be like, we have this, and it'll come up on a board behind him, and then they'll quickly move on to actually show you something visual. People respond better to something visual as opposed to like text.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to talk about.
And they could do it all flashy.
Yeah, that was how it went with the X too. Where
Yeah.
didn't they show some numbers and it was kind of.
And they had some really flashy stuff to
infographics,
show processors and things like that. Like it was a little bit more exciting than just numbers on a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
I could see them doing like context to give you an idea. The next Scarlet will be at least twice as fast as an Xbox One X.
Did they ship you an X? Because it comes with a booklet, and it has all. I actually read the whole booklet. It was really fascinating and like interesting to read about.
And again, like it's sort of alphabet soup to me at this point because I know enough about the tech, but they get into detail. It's like, well, this is the difference between these two types of RAM, and it's like, wow, okay, that's very in depth. I don't think that's super consumer facing though. Yeah. It would be silly, I think, to use part of your conference to talk about the differences in RAM.
That's true. Yeah. Here's how it compares to our previous platform, or here's how it compares to the PlayStation platform, or even the one that was revealed.
Yeah,
I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Microsoft has really, from a marketing perspective, embraced and tried to own the most powerful console in the world thing with the X, and hey, it's true. Like they can do that, and they've Aaron Greenberg, I love him. He goes out and he's got like shirts made up of that, and it's like they've tried to embrace that, and I think they're going to continue to hammer on that with Scarlet too. Regardless of what Sony claims or says, like I think Microsoft will, and hopefully they'll have the. We've talked about this a million times. I think their plan has been solid enough for so many years now that I have actually no doubt that they will be more powerful this time around.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, there's already the comments out there right now are like, well, the One X is the most powerful console on the market until the PS5 comes out, because did you see that article? It would be insane to think that Microsoft's going to give up that high ground that they've built with the One X after all the resources they put into it.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to frame console generations as Microsoft will always have the most powerful console now, forever. Mm-hmm. Like we will always do what it takes to be the best you can get. And maybe it'll cost more, but I don't, it seems.
I think I think they're going to cost the same. I don't think Microsoft.
They can't
goes to. I don't. The PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, those were side products. In fact, you didn't have to buy those. They were optional things for Scarlet and
It's like
and
mid-cycle
PS5,
upgrades. Yeah.
I think I think Microsoft will not risk having the PS5 be lower. But then again,
that's really interesting point actually, because if
it's $6.99 versus $5.99, that's a bad spot for Xbox to be.
That's a really bad spot. But if you're trying to pull, PlayStation fans away from Sony on the next generation, you're going to have two SKUs, right? You're going to have the lower end one,
right,
and you're going to have the higher end one, and the lower end one will likely be cheaper, obviously. But if the PlayStation 5 is more powerful than Microsoft's lower end console, but cheaper than Microsoft's higher end console, I don't think you win. Because I think everybody who's in the Sony ecosystem is like, well, it's powerful enough and it's cheaper, so why not?
Yeah, that is an interesting thing to consider. Is will the lower end Scarlet be cheaper but less powerful? So in other words, will the PS5, both in price and power, just slot in between?
Yeah, exactly.
And will that play to Microsoft's benefit or detriment if they have the most powerful one for the most money, but then also a lower end one that's more affordable but is not as capable as a PS5? That is going to be really interesting to see how the market responds to that, if that's how it all shakes out.
I think the way you win is you have your high-end console be priced exactly the same as the PS5.
And I agree completely with you there.
And I think you have your low-end console be $100 less or $150 less.
Yeah.
Because you have to pull market share back. There are 90 million PS4s out there. You have to pull some of those people back, so you have to give them an option of why they should pick Microsoft.
For sure.
So no price this year.
No,
I don't think
no
price.
way. No, not from anybody.
No.
It's way too early for that.
Yeah. You think launch next Christmas, though?
For sure.
Yeah.
I actually agree as well.
Yeah, E3 for pricing. E3 2020 for pricing, which is what we saw from both of them last time around. Which,
it's going to be such an interesting 14 months, 15 months.
What is weird is by the time, this generation on one hand has felt short. Like, the consoles just came out in 2013, but by the time we're at E3 2020 in a little over a year from now, and these two machines are really gearing up to launch, we'll be at 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years since the Xbox One launched. That's a long time. It was 8 years for from 360 to Xbox One. And that felt like a long generation, right? Not in a bad way, but that was a long time. And it's like this, I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's just because I'm in the moment now.
Yeah.
But here at almost 6 years, technically it's still 5.5 right now. But yeah, this feels like it's like the Xbox One isn't that old, but it's going to end up, it'll be 7 years.
I agree. I actually feel like, wait, these consoles just came out. I started my career in games journalism covering the Xbox One. I've only been doing it for 4 or 5 years now. So I think it's all due to the fact that Microsoft has essentially re-upped twiess.
That's
right?
true.
You got the 1S, and then you have the 1X.
Yeah.
Now you have the all-digital edition. But every couple of years, you get essentially a new upgraded console, right, from Microsoft. Which I think it makes it feel like a much shorter time than it actually has been. It's been a while.
Yeah, you're so right. Okay. Meanwhile, as far as E3 conferences go, Square Enix is taking Sony's abandoned Monday night slot. So Monday, June 10th, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's exactly when Sony had always been. Square Enix is going to do. Now they did something last year they did a pre-tape thing.
It was weird.
It
fine. It was
right.
fine, but it was a little odd.
It was all right.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, this go around, they're going a little bigger, a little more prominent spot, and I can't necessarily blame them because
Are they at the Orpheum?
The two I don't know if it said, but the two major titles that they could show.
Wait, let me guess. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes.
And Crystal D's Avengers game.
Exactly correct. Yeah, I mean those are the two. I don't know if
we're not going to get another Tomb Raider.
There could be a new Final Fantasy.
Could be.
That's not 7.
That would be
because remakes being done by a totally different team.
Yeah, and 15's been out a while, right? Could be time for Final Fantasy 16.
I think remake's not scheduled to come to, or no, that's right. It's a timed exclusive for PS.
Something like that.
By the time it comes out, PS5.
Yeah, I don't actually know because that game has been in the works for so long.
Well, remember the word was that they restart. They started over.
Yeah, I actually remember that. Yeah, at some point during development, they just scrapped it. And went back to the
so who knows there? But that's still that's still a big deal. But the Avengers is the more sure thing.
Yeah.
It's Crystal Dynamics. They're about 20 miles or so south of us.
Yeah.
And I've been there a number of times, actually. They have a really nice space.
I've never been. Yeah, San Mateo, right?
Redwood City.
Oh, Redwood City.
Redwood Shores, technically.
Same as EA, yeah. I'm really, really interested to see how the sort of swell from Avengers Endgame goes into their E3 showing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
I didn't even think about that, actually.
What a cool opportunity to like cross promote.
Yeah, because the movie.
Well, I guess it's not cross promoting. It will have been out for 2 months
right,
already.
Come E3 time, the movie will probably be crossing like $4 billion at the box office.
Yeah.
So they can they'll definitely have a wave of momentum to ride in on.
That's such a good point. Like, man, by that point, everyone will have already done the Avengers thing, and they're going to be like, oh, I can't believe it's over now. 10 years in the making. What are we going to do now? And then Square Enix rolls the trailer, and it's the opening sort of, from Avengers.
How's the song go?
I can't remember. Shut up. I can't remember. I walked myself into that sentence and I was like, just wing it. You can do it. And I think I started Jurassic Park. What is the Avengers one?
I don't know.
No one knows.
Somebody nailed it in the office last week.
Yeah.
We were talking about like epic music, like the Game of Thrones intro, and someone just started singing the Avengers theme, and I was like, oh wow, yeah.
I would challenge. See, I don't think it's in the same pantheon as Jurassic Park, Star Wars, or even Reigns of Castamere. Like that's become.
Oh, I don't know. I can't even remember Reigns of Castamere. I'm the biggest Game of Thrones fan I know. Apparently not that big.
Wow. You think a lot of yourself, don't you?
No, I just think I'm that big of a nerd. God.
Anyway,
how good was that episode on Sunday though? I know we're an Xbox cast, but man,
I'm only halfway through it.
It was very tense.
It was good.
I watched. I won't say
when King Kong showed up. I was like, blown
man,
away.
They started talking about it in the morning meeting. I'm like, hey, like I got other stuff going on. Can you give me like a day?
I love you and I hear where you're coming from, but like
you know where you work, man.
Yeah. Like if you don't watch it night of. That's why
we're all going to Avengers on Thursday.
Dude, I'm
going to that one.
I hate midnight releases because I watch them. I'm so tired at the end of the day. I get home and I don't remember half the movie.
I know. I have a 9-something p.m. showing on Thursday night because again, I don't want this ruined for me by anyone in this office or the internet. But it's a 3-hour movie. By the time previews go, like I'm not getting out of there till 1 a.m.
I'm gonna get into bed at like 2.
And by the way, we sound like 3 really old men right now.
We do.
Just complaining about not getting to bed till 1 in the morning.
My fiance
on a school night.
Shut up! I'm allowed to be tired.
My fiance not really into nerd stuff, so like I've got to watch her like really adapt Star Wars and see it for the first time, which is really cool. And now she's like so excited for Avengers Endgame. Awesome. She's like all in. I took her through like the basic movies and we watched them together, and she's like, I can't wait. She keeps talking about it. She's like, I want to know what happens. And,
well, I saw you guys had gone. You'd posted pictures online. Took her to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Some recent-ish. So you're gonna have to take her back again when Star Wars
when the
Galaxy's Edge opens.
Yeah. We talked about that.
It's gonna be cool.
It's booked for like 2 months.
Oh.
Well, I saw the reservations. I guess you got to enter for the lottery of sorts for that.
Yeah.
I think it's like next week.
Jesus.
It's for the first month that it's open.
Yeah.
You got to get the reservation to go.
May and June are pretty booked.
Well, it opens May 31st.
Wait, are you talking about
June is book solid?
Are you? And I haven't been following this. So are you talking about the park or the hotel?
Disneyland.
No, the hotel's still further out on the. It's not done yet.
Okay.
But yeah, you just because you have a Disneyland ticket
doesn't mean you can go in.
Correct.
Wow.
For I guess presumably fire marshal, crowd control / joy of you'd have a bad time if everybody's just
Fire Marshal Dan, aka Sergeant Buzzkill, here to ruin your day.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
wow, that
deep
is
cut.
A deep cut.
I dropped. By the way, I dropped Tales from the Crypt on you earlier.
No, I caught it.
So
I caught it.
It's like I'm showing my age this week.
That's fine. So they rebuilt Tomorrowland, right?
No.
Oh, this is a different area.
No, Tomorrowland's being tweaked. I was just there, and I saw the areas that were being redone. The castle's being redone.
Right.
There's some stuff in Tomorrowland that's being worked on, and way in the back by
It's behind. So if you're walking towards
Critter whatever.
Yeah, if you're walking towards Splash Mountain, or if you've got, or actually, I guess
you're
it's
right.
kind of like
You're right, Ryan.
If you walk towards Big Thunder Mountain, but keep going, it's back there.
Yeah. Big Thunder and Splash are like right
Yeah,
next to
they're
each
kinda-
other.
it's like, but it's between.
That's what, like
between, but behind
Frontierland?
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Frontierland.
Yes.
I guess it is fitting that
Gosh, I hope you guys have been to
Galaxy's
Disneyland.
is next to Frontierland. It's thematically, they kind of fit a little bit.
Go get that raspberry
Frontier.
Dole Whip. It's behind the Dole Whip stand.
All right.
They have a whole new
It
thing
wouldn't
now.
like Tomorrowland actually
And
wouldn't
get Mickey beignets.
it wouldn't make sense for it to be next to Tomorrowland because Star Wars is set a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
So what else is on the news?
I don't know. It
agenda?
doesn't matter. Let's just talk about Disneyland because now I just want.
I
to
haven't
go.
been in like 2 years, so I'm at a disadvantage.
All right. So Square Enix probably going to go big on Avengers.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll show something on Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I'm honestly not sure what else they. I mean, they'll have other stuff clearly, but they don't have IO Interactive anymore. They're free and independent. So
Hitman.
no more Hitman for them.
They're not doing a
By all accounts, there's no new Deus Ex game. Like
Right.
that series is dormant for now.
unless we get a surprise. Yeah.
They could do something that's not Deus Ex though.
do they have Persona?
Well, they had
or is
just
that Atlas?
they had just done Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Remember, Square Enix
okay.
Montreal. Sorry,
New Tomb Raider, maybe. Yeah.
maybe, but
I don't think
Probably
so.
not.
also
I know.
Shadow was not as well received
Yeah,
as the first two games.
I think
commercially and critically.
I think Tomb Raider probably is going to be quiet until
I'm fine with
next
that.
gen.
until they reboot it again.
Maybe.
They're doing a new movie.
Really?
Yeah,
what I heard.
And Alicia Vikander's coming back for it, right?
Yeah, I think she
Really?
was good in the role.
That didn't. I thought it
Surprised me
just
because
bombed.
I thought it bombed. Yeah, maybe not bombed.
I didn't think
but
it
like,
was that terrible.
I
That's
watched
the
it.
one where
It
she
was.
meets her dad.
It was. I mean, it mostly followed the plot of
There's been
the
so many Tomb
yeah,
Raiders.
of
of
the-
the
of the
2013
reboot,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it starts with. Doesn't it start with that shipwreck from the way
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
reboot starts as well?
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. It wasn't like Venom sort of campy bad.
Right.
Like Venom for its strengths and weaknesses, it had this sort of everything seemed really telegraphed. That was my biggest problem with the Venom movie. With Tomb Raider, at least it was kind of an adventure. Like you kind of discovered a lot with her, and yeah, I mean, sure, it wasn't the best movie I've ever seen, but I also wouldn't say it was bad. I also wouldn't say Venom was terrible.
Yeah.
But it was rough.
Yeah, it's
fair.
I watched it on a plane.
So did I.
Oh, I saw
I
your
just
tweet.
Wait, Venom?
Venom. Yeah, and it actually I watched The Predator on a plane too when I was coming back from wherever the hell I just got back from. God, yeah, you're right though, man. Venom it's not terrible, but it's not good.
It's certainly not good.
Yeah, there's no chemistry between the two main characters.
No.
At all.
And making Venom a good guy was really weird.
Yeah, he's always been an anti-hero.
Anyway.
We're all over the place. Square Enix, what else do they have franchise-wise?
Do they have Persona or is that Atlas?
That's Atlas.
That's Atlas?
Yeah, there's not a lot. I mean, Avalanche I doubt it's time for another Just Cause. I also expect
No.
that one's
No
gonna.
way.
That one's gonna
Avalanche is doing Rage, right?
with id.
Yeah.
But that's the other team, the Mad Max team.
Oh, okay.
So there's I imagine Just Cause will hang back until next gen because their whole thing is doing cool sandbox tech stuff.
And you need the power.
And yeah, I expect they'll go nuts with Just Cause 5 on the new consoles.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 has a big thing coming out this month, I think.
If Final Fantasy 14 were coming to Xbox, that would be a cool thing they could show.
Yeah.
But that would probably be on the Microsoft stage, I would
Yeah.
expect, if that were to actually happen.
I don't know. They probably have one or two things up their sleeve though. Besides what we've already
of course.
guessed, those
But-
will be big.
I mean, at the same token, like Sony has consistently found a way to make 5 games their entire conference and make it work.
If it's FF16, I'd be stoked. Because I wasn't.
so you're talking-
15 is the first Final Fantasy game I didn't play.
Oh, it's the first one I played.
It's the one where they ride around in the car, right?
Yeah, it's a broy road trip, and it's fantastic.
I have it. I haven't played it, and normally I'm a pretty big Final Fantasy fan. So
Let me ask you 4 questions. Do you like cooking? Do you
sorry,
like road tripping?
I played the first 15
like
to 20
fighting?
minutes.
Do you like spiky hair? You're gonna love Final Fantasy 15. Have I got a deal for you?
Something about the tone of it, I'm just like, I don't.
It is a little goofy, but like, come on, suspend the disbelief, and like, then it's actually really.
Give me 10. Give me Orin and the crew back playing with Waka Waka.
Speaking Greek to me,
the
right
ball in the water.
I don't know anything.
Well,
about
we'll see. I mean, hey, it's nice to sit here and go, hey, we're not quite sure what Square Enix will show.
Yeah.
That'll make for a better conference. We won't have the whole thing already predicted.
I can totally see them making a conference out of Avengers, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy XIV's next
expansion,
chapter.
Yeah.
If they had a Final Fantasy 16, I think that would headline, but I don't think it's ready.
We shall see.
14 on Xbox One X.
That'd be good. Let me just speed run here through the last couple bits of news. Microsoft had, we already talked at length about this 2 or 3 shows back after the Windows Central broke it. So the Xbox One S All Digital Edition.
Very sad acronym.
Yes, Xbox One.
Unfortunate acronym.
Nicely done.
May 7th, $250. And if you're like, hey, that kind of seems like a lot. I thought you deleted the disk drive to make this a little cheaper. Microsoft said this, quote, Microsoft sets a suggested retail price, but specific pricing and offers vary by retailer. The suggested retail price for the Xbox One S All Digital Edition is $50 less than the Xbox One S, and we expect to maintain at least this price difference between the two consoles following launch on May 7th. In other words, you'll probably find it cheaper, just like you can find the S cheaper.
That was the context that was missing from this, because both in the quotes from, I'm sorry, I forget his name, but our basically spokesperson for Microsoft, and Larry Erb on...
Phil Spencer.
No, it was Gaddis, I think.
Ukari.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Anyway, both the messaging that Microsoft gave us and what Major Nelson said on Inside Xbox is that the price is set to always be consistent, so it'll always be the cheapest version of an Xbox, outside the fact that there are a number of bundles on the Microsoft Store right now that are as expensive or cheaper than the All Digital Edition, which I reached out and they basically said the same thing, which is this is MSRP. It doesn't account for discounts or sales from other retailers. I imagine once those bundles are mostly Fallout 76, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
So I imagine there's a backlog, or not a backlog, a surplus. And once those are gone, I think the sale ends on the One S version of it, or maybe they discount the All Digital Edition. It just seems so strange to drop price of a console as soon as it's released. So I don't think that's what's going to happen. Yeah. I think once the bundles are sold out, then the price goes back to $300, and this is now the cheapest version.
The internet had a field day with that trailer. Poor guys.
Well, the official trailer?
The jokey one?
Yeah. I really liked it.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was very self-aware.
Yeah.
And then elsewhere, another confirmed rumor, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is exactly what we already talked about, and that is $15 per month for Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass together. Meanwhile, 5
really good games,
backwards compatible 360 games are getting Xbox One X enhancements, which it's like they raided the wish list on my computer. It's like they cracked my Google password and looked in Google Docs and found my wish list here.
You gotta stop making all your passwords Batman.
I know, right? Check these out. You've got Fable 2 and 3 getting Xbox One X enhancements. Man. Fable 2 being, of course, the GOAT Fable.
Agreed.
Splinter Cell Double Agent, Splinter Cell Conviction, and Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Just
all
take
backwards
a breath.
compatible.
Just
all Xbox One X enhanced. That definitely, honestly, it makes me want to take a run through Blacklist again.
Yeah.
I haven't played it since I reviewed it, which was now, holy crap. That game came out in August 2013. It came out right before the Xbox One X did. That game is 5.5, almost 6 years old. Wow, that's how long Splinter Cell's been
I remember
out of action.
being at that event and doing the co-op gameplay with you.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Man.
It doesn't feel that way, though.
That was the last Splinter Cell?
That's the last Splinter Cell.
Outside the
Ghost Recon
the Ghost
thing.
Recon
The voice actor came in and he did a Let's Play with us. And it wasn't Michael Ironside.
No.
Whoever that
He was a nice guy. I think he worked on
was.
Smallville.
Yeah.
But
But he's not Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
Anyway, so check those out, man. That is really great Xbox One and Xbox One X enhancement, making those older, excellent games feel new again. All right, loot box real quick. Let's just maybe do one each here. Mark from Stourbridge in the UK, his gamer tag is We Awoken the Hive. I'm going to do a little grammar check on that for you, Mark. We'll talk about that later. But thank you for writing in. He asks...
It's a Destiny reference.
Okay. Oh, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Awoken.
I got it.
Hive. Yeah.
There was a place where you would grind for stuff, and your ghost's like, we've woken the hive.
Yeah.
But never mind. Forget it. I'm just going to move on.
Awoken is also a faction.
Okay. That helps.
Anyway.
What songs, Mark asks, are there any songs that bring back memories for you? Like either an in-game song or just...
Can't Stop My Heart reminds me of Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the better rock songs on
Yeah.
that playlist. Dun, dun, can't stop my heart. And you're just like doing your time trial laps or whatever.
Nice.
Like trying
I like
to get
that.
through it on Gran Turismo. Mess around with your car. So that one is just one that popped in my head just now.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got any?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the opening guitar riff from Bungie for Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Like,
Yeah.
I am immediately transported back to my bedroom when I was a teenager, just like up all night playing that, or playing Halo 2 in particular. Also, anything from the 80s that was in Vice City, I hear that song, like Flock of Seagulls. I was like, yeah, I remember this, cruising down that bridge.
I'll say a few lyrics from a song, and you tell me if you know what game it is from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi.
Yep.
The Offspring.
Yeah, good call. Oh, also, I mean,
That's a good one.
you
Yeah,
can't have this topic without talking about Tony Hawk 2.
Oh, okay.
That is one of the greatest game soundtracks I think ever.
Mm-hmm.
There are a million songs on that sound. Not a million, obviously. There are a ton of songs on that soundtrack that are like popular in their own right and really good. But instantly, when you hear them, you just think about doing flips on a ramp.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I had one. Of course, I did, like an idiot. I didn't write it down, and now I'm forgetting it. But yeah, there's certainly
It's a soundtrack.
there are definitely
really,
certain
usually.
songs from particularly the Rock Band 1 soundtrack where if I hear them, like, it just takes me right back to Rock Band 1 and like my initial Rock Band experiences.
What
which
was the
were
song?
So
it was like
good.
one of the first 2 songs you could play when you first started the game, and it was easy-ish. And like
I mean,
everyone played it.
there
Was it
was
Orange Crush?
Nobody's gonna.
Orange Crush was in one of the early ones. Oh gosh, which song from Garbage? There was a Garbage song. that was super early in the mix. Yeah, they're.
Oh God, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those definitely come to mind.
And
so.
I miss the drums.
I know.
There's a set still in the closet, and they're actually worth some money these days.
Really?
From what I understand, yeah. Like we were toying, just briefly toying with the idea of trying to do some Rock Band again one day, and I think you had to find them on eBay. I could be wrong. There might be a really like cheap depot where you can get them at, but like
Right.
on eBay
They're all in Wisconsin.
they were fairly expensive.
Good stuff, Mark. Thank you so much for that loot box question. And now a little trivia. This is a good one. I confess I was stumped here. I did not remember this. Jamie Story writes in and asks, who did Microsoft kick off their Xbox Game with Fame program with back in 2004? So Microsoft used to get celebrities of various calibers, various levels of celebrity, to come in and do like an online, a sanctioned online match with Xbox Live Gold subscribers and whatever the hot game of the moment was. So the first guess that they had, was it the band Blink-182? Was it Ice-T?
The man and the band.
Yeah. Was it Coheed and Cambria?
The band.
Or was it Big Boy of Outkast fame?
Boy.
Do you guys remember? Again, I did not.
I didn't even remember this program until you started talking about it.
It's been a while since I've thought about it, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I don't know it, but I have a there are like little snippets of memory that I think might walk me to the finish line.
I'll just go first. I'll say, man, I have it down to Blink-182 or Ice-T. I can like feel like I remember this sort of like, that seems weird. But I'll go with Ice-T, my Destiny brethren.
Okay.
Do plays a lot of Destiny.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's C, Coheed and Cambria. Because I remember
think it was a band.
I remember back in 04. I mean, Coheed's been big for a long time, but I think it was Coheed.
Coheed's was one of my favorite Rock Band 1 songs too, which was towards the end of the campaign.
Oh yeah,
it was really fun to play.
Was it Dear Apollo?
No, that doesn't ring a bell. Again, I can't remember the name of the songs, but
somebody out there is like a Coheed mega fan, and they're like, these guys are terrible.
Well, I remember I learned
apologize.
that, like, because I enjoyed that song in the game, I was like, wait, what's up with these guys? And I guess their albums are all like it's a story.
Yeah,
like it's the whole thing, which is cool.
I don't know if concept is the right word, but yeah, right. they all tell a tale.
Yeah. Well, no, neither of you got it. It was Big Boy.
Oh, I never would have guessed that.
It was the first one, yes.
I don't even know who that is.
Nice job,
He's the
Jamie.
other side of Outkast.
He's
the one that's not Andre 3000.
What's a song that he sung? Anyway, that's all we have time for today.
Good job. We got to get out of here, actually. Good job by Jamie for stumping all three of us. So if you would like to participate in either Unlocked Block Trivia or Loot Box, send an email to unlocked@ign.com. And if you're doing trivia, please give me the question, 4 multiple choice answers, and note the correct one in your email. Let's get out of here. You can follow me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. Again, check out IGN Unfiltered. Hopefully you did last week when I more or less forced it in your ears. If you didn't, unless you press stop. And I'm back from vacation, so I'm still trying to get all caught up on everything else to promote.
Yeah.
Destin.
Yeah. Okay, this is sort of a weird promo, but I'm actually hiring an associate gameplay producer. If you're good at Fortnite or just Apex Legends or anything specifically on PC, that would be great. That's the main skill set I'm looking for. If you have any on-camera experience or editing experience, that's helpful also.
Are you saying I can get paid to play video games?
Yeah, basically. So I'm hiring for that position. Check my Twitter at Destin Legary. I posted the job listing there, and you can kind of look through. Just look at my tweets. Don't look at the thread of garbage that happened afterwards.
What did you do now?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to give them.
Just go back and delete the tweets. It's not.
No, I didn't do anything. It's the reaction to it was surprising to say the least. Anyway, I want to pay somebody money to play video games, which should be positive, right?
You would think so.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not on Twitter very often, Dustin.
Yeah. As am I not on Twitter that often because of this.
Do you still have it deleted from your phone? Because I do.
It's not on my phone.
It's not on my phone either. Yeah. Isn't it? Don't you feel healthier?
Yes.
Not obsessively checking
guys.
it.
Yeah. Good for you guys. Brandon, take us home.
Speaking of Twitter, you can find me on Twitter sometimes.
Sometimes.
At Brandon Tyrell. It's just my name. I also had the opportunity to be a guest host on the DLC podcast, which is another cool gaming podcast. So after you listen to Unlocked, go check that out as well.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll be back in the countdown to episode 400. Man, that's... Wow. Not too far away, and no, I don't have anything special planned. Not currently. We'll
start
see.
Working.
We'll see what happens, but anyway, we'll be back probably talking more E3 at this rate. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.